of us move through the world on a cycle of automatic reactivity. We look for identity in external status and validation, yet find ourselves trapped in loops of frustration, tripping over the same invisible fears as our lives cycle through patterns of chaos we can't seem to break. Within this constant firing of neural pathways and reactive emotions, there is a distinct gap between the thought and the one who hears it. When you feel a surge of anger or anxiety, there is a witnessing presence observing that event in real time. This observer is the self, an eternal divine spark that remains present through every changing circumstance. It is the only aspect of your consciousness that stays distinct from your body, your memories, and the shifting weather of your mind. Realizing you are the observer rather than the experience itself provides the leverage needed to alter your reality. It shifts your perspective from the victim of a chaotic storm to the one documenting the patterns of the wind. Mapping these internal mechanics reveals a specific seat of authority that the Order of Nine Ether calls the throne. This represents the center point of choice, where the self must eventually step up to direct the impulses of the ego. Accessing this seat requires entering Key 8, the sacred silence. The ego often resists this stillness with noise and distraction, because in silence, its defensive illusions begin to dissolve. This state functions as a void shell, a protective inner room where you can finally hear yourself think. In this sanctuary, your unexamined habits and beliefs rise to the surface, where they can be audited and transformed. Spiritual authority over your destiny emerges from this ability to sit still within the raw canvas of pure potential. By becoming the witness, you prepare to become the architect. This framework treats your consciousness as a precise clockwork mechanism. By understanding the specific roles of your memory, your will, and your observation, you can step out of reactivity and intentionally design your existence. This flowchart shows the loop of the unawakened mind. An event triggers an immediate reaction. Key 9 introduces a conscious pause into this circuit. Utilizing this fraction of a second, the self interrupts the automatic flow, creating space for a deliberate choice. During this pause, you perform a sacred audit. You drag invisible core beliefs into the light to see if they support your growth or merely limit your potential. You decide if a thought is true or simply familiar. Freedom lives entirely within this engineered gap between stimulus and response. In this millisecond of awareness, the I Am takes control of the outcome. Every choice interacts with unyielding structural principles. This crystalline clockwork mechanism illustrates how source energy operates through divine law. These interlocking gears represent cause and effect. You are free to choose your actions, but the mechanical consequences are dictated by nature. Key 11 reveals that these laws function through a divine family of forces. It is the cooperation between the receptive soul, which stores memory, and the active spirit, which directs will, that generates progress. Order and relationship exist beneath the apparent complexity of the world. The universe functions as a collaborative machine, waiting for the conscious inputs of an aligned operator. Key 12 defines manifestation as an all-systems-on-deck collaborative matrix. Creating reality requires your thoughts, emotions, and physical efforts to work as a single integrated unit. This process follows a strict technical formula. Lock your attention onto a target, flood that intention with emotional weight, and transform energy into physical movement through the fire of will. Destiny emerges when this formula interacts with divine law over time. Through the law of compounding, your daily habits shape your long-term reality more powerfully than any single moment of inspiration. You remain fully responsible for the quality of your inputs, while the laws of the cosmos faithfully determine the outputs. The 013 journey culminates in a state of integration, where the boundary between the seeker and the source begins to fade. Key 13 represents the conscious remembrance of a connection that has existed since before your first breath. Reaching this state of unity allows your individuality to serve as a specific lens for the Creator. Like these individual colored rays refracting from a single diamond, your unique perspective is what enables the whole to experience itself. Your awareness functions as a necessary participant in the field of existence. You are a distinct, individualized expression of the same source energy that sustains the stars. The sweeping cosmic order you observe in the night sky is a direct mirror of the mechanical laws currently operating within your own mind. You have the choice to continue drifting on autopilot, or to master these laws and consciously return to your role as a creator within creation. Kelvin M. Powell documented these patterns to show you exactly how your thoughts shift into emotions and harden into your physical reality. These pages contain the map back to the source.